Hello, it's Eric Polly at erpley.com, ERPOLLEY.com. And yeah, I'm in my hipster headgear here. Actually, I'm wearing sunglasses because this box light that you can see in the reflection of my sunglasses here is getting to my eyeballs while I'm staring at this other screen that's right in front of me. One screen, two screen, three screen, and two box lights. That's a lot of light. So today I have a couple little cars here in Blender, and I've been putting together a car chase video. For this video, I'm actually going to be designing the buildings there to put in the scene of these car crash. So it's going to be in the background of the, not car crash, the car chase. Hey, big difference. The car chase scene. I think I'm going to put, since they're low poly cars, I kind of want to put a low poly cartoony like a texture over the actual scene itself. So in order to do that, I think I'm gonna use Animate CC to design the actual like windows and stuff like that. So I want it to be cartoony. It's like a pretty good stroke size, something like that. And we can go in and go in like that. I should have just duplicated it and made it smaller, but hey, whatever. And then let's do one like this, one like that, little this, little that, you know what I mean? And let's go ahead and fill these in, if it'll let me. Was I designing in the wrong space? Oh, you know what? Let's see if it actually will change this way. Yes, it will. It's so finicky sometimes. So those have connected. That's perfect. That's exactly what we did not want. I think it wasn't filling in because I was filling in with white. Yeah, this brush stroke should be the same as it was. So let's just connect those together. And let's just go ahead and connect these together. Sure. That way we can actually fill these in with the color that we wanted originally. I'm going to do like a radial color, something like that. Yeah, that's what I want. And let's go back to solid color. I kind of want more of a cartoony look for the outside of this window, something like that. I was trying to do Control D to duplicate, or Shift D, I mean, but it's copy and paste like the old-fashioned ways. I'm trying to space it out to where it'll actually space out correctly when I unwrap it onto a mesh, and for whatever reason the gradient did not go through on the duplication. Come on, friend. That's fine. Just gonna change all of the colors. Let's make that way brighter, actually. It's gonna bother me. Yep, acceptable. And really that's all that needs to be in there. I think I'm just gonna try and save it like that. Let's export and do a JPEG or no, let's do a PNG and fit on the screen. Alright, save. And we do not want a transparent background. Or do we? Let's see. Because then I can overlay and change the color from building to building. Let's try transparent. And just put windows on stuff and see how that works. Let's get experimental. And I'm going to title this one cartoon Windows 01 and save that. And I'm actually not going to save this file, but I may come back and edit it in a second once I get over into the blender. It's not Blender, it's the blender. The only blender you'll ever need. One top-notch blender for all your blender needs. Right. Let's take a look. We could try GIS, but I kind of prefer OSM as far as I know anyways. I'm going to select, and this will tell us to select the area we so desire. Portland, Oregon. And select somewhere familiar for me. Lake Oswego. Get in the zone. Lake Oswego. Sure. I kind of want a set of buildings that's nice and straight. These are sparsely parsley. I can always grab a set of buildings and then duplicate them. The idea is that I want to grab a set that's relatively unique. Something like these guys. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 should be good enough to where if I duplicate them, cut off 2, and move it to the right, it should be a nice selection of area. Yeah. Paste. And import. You know what? Before I did that, I should have cut off all this other stuff. But whatever. I think I'm going to go back and probably do that. Unless it did not give me any of that junk. In which case, never mind. Alright. It did the thing. So now I have these buildings. Just a couple. And they're very simple. And that's kind of the idea. But they're unique enough to where if I was going to make them, I would never make this weird, ugly Tetris shape thing. Like, I would never do that. So it forces me to create something unique. And let's start with the wall. First, let's save. Car chase, we need background buildings 01. And really all we need is the buildings, I believe. So we'll just go with that and see what happens, okay? I'm going to leave all the buildings together as one. Let's look at it like this. And select similar. And according to the normal. And try it again. Select similar to the normal. And that should have the whole front and back. I don't think it's missing any little corner pieces. If it is, I can come back and do it then. But for now, let's UV unwrap and UV unwrap and project from view. And before we get on to the next set of walls, let's get this one here done. Now, let's go down here, Shift A, search for images, type that in, bang, let's connect it, and it's done. No, okay, let's look for that texture that we just made. Textures, one cartoon, yeah, that's the one. So the wall is going to be actually black, and we want to create an overlay, and we'll do that here in a moment. Actually, let's just do it right now. What am I talking about? Oh, I was like, I'm holding shift and going on the scroll wheel. Why isn't it going smaller? Because that's the wrong program. And let's turn this green. Shift A. Yeah. Let's mix shader. I do believe it's shader. No, let's go RGB, I think. And let's plug this one in to the second one, I believe. Let's see what that does. If that's the proper thing. And overlay. And it doesn't like me. It is totally mixed shader. So I was trying to mix. Oh, okay, so that would have worked for like an image, or not an image. I mean, for the surface. There we go. There's one. There's two. And how do we make it overlay? This is all like added stuff that I really didn't need to do. I'm getting experimental with it though, and you can watch me suffer. Mix RGB. I swear this was it. I don't know if it's just being difficult or what. Huh. I don't know. Dum-dum-dum. Let's put this to there. Let's put this guy into here. See if that gives me what I would like. It did. Perfect. That's where we wanted. I was going to the wrong area. And now it should be overlaid. Should be. Is it? Oh, it's only going into... Oh, okay. It's the alpha color that's not going to show through when I do it that way. Okay, Get it, got it, go. Cool. Okay. But how do I make it overlay? That's the real question. So we don't want this. That's happening. I could just save it with different files. Honestly, that is what I should do. Rather than go and mess around while you guys are watching me try to figure it out. Either way, the color will be whatever I decide it to be. So I'm gonna go into this one and go over here, and let's just take a solid green color, export this, save. I know it looks good because we already did it. Let's go to this one, green, and then let's just change the color a couple times. Blue. Export image. Exporting. Save. Blue. And let's do like a red. That's insane, but alright. Export image. Yes. Same thing, but this time it's red. Yay! Alright. So let's go back into Blender. And now we'll go to one of those images I just found. I just made. I found it lying around when I made it. Let's start off with the blue. There we go. You can see it's blue, but it is nowhere near where we would like it to be. That's because we need to size it up. And basically we're looking for the size we want, not the proper alignment. So I think like that actually is probably better. Yeah. All right. Actually, let's go up even a little bit more. Okay. Okay, and now it's time to like go in and fix these little bits, which is not as bad as it sounds, because I can just go off of this right here. Again, this is more of detail stuff, and most of the people are not going to notice any of this when they're watching it. But for the few that do, I want the windows to be in the proper place. I'm just hitting like sizing it up just a smidge and stuff like that, and like grabbing this I could probably just do the same thing, size it up just a smidge. I'm going the wrong way. And then grab it and pull it that way. And really what I'm doing is I'm grabbing this square, but I'm using this visual to really tell what the heck I'm doing. Hold shift, grab over there. You can sort of see the bottom here, but I don't think you're going to see any of that, so I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, that's how I do it. If you're not going to see it, I don't care. Okay. Oh, one more. I should have just done the other side when I was doing this one, but that's alright. I'll do it the hard way. This one is just the wrong dimension. Nope, that way. Cry up. Nope, wrong way. Again. There we go. I'm gonna size it in a weird oblong way. Whatever, it works. No. There we are. Perfect. And size that one that way, and then grab it that way. So, that way when I size it this way, it looks perfect. Yep, that's perfect to me. Don't ruin this for me. You. I don't know. Yeah, that'll be fine. Again, you're not going to see most of this. These small buildings kind of worry me for that fact. Cool. Yep, nothing like manually throwing on some textures to really make you feel like you're doing stuff. I'm going to save, and let's look at what we got going on. Okay, let's select similar normal. Do that, select everything. Yes. And let's do the same thing over here, select similar normals. And that's just selecting faces that are in a similar direction. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. Now, let's look at it. Yeah, that should work. And and project from view. Let's go in the UV editing. Size that up a lot so that it's similar to that of the other side. It is not yet. So I'm going to size it up even more till the windows look a similar size. Something like that. Let's just grab them and try to get at least some of these to line up right away. And so that way maybe I don't have to do nearly as much work on these. Like this one. I can just move it aside if I'm in the right window. Like this one. I can just go one of these directions. And I can't even see what's going on with this one. That actually looks alright. This one needs help. It needs a help. It doesn't need help. It needs a help. English. You'd think the kids learn these things in the schooling, but I'll prove them wrong. Is there just a piece of window? There it is. Oh, grab it this way, like that. Boom, baby! That's where it's at. Yo. Deputy dog. Nice. Maybe grab that a little bit more up. Oh, going the wrong way. Normal is upside down in the UV editor. So I keep on moving things in the wrong direction. That looks acceptable. Acceptable again. I'm sick of you and your acceptable nature. Phew. That joke was toasty. Toasty hot. Did that work? Yeah. Yeah. That's what's up, where it's at. Yo, what? I rap with a hat, and I take a nap like a cat in someone's lap. Sweet. Tubular. Alright, that's the first UV edit that needs to be done on this. Now I can, let's see, I can take like that building and this building, add a new material, assign that material, and come back to that in a second. Then I'll take this building and this building and make that a new material and assign. Wall 2, wall 3. And let's go to the shading tab. The shading tab. Also known as the shading tab. Mr. Anderson. I don't know though. I'm pretty excited for that matrix. I guess that's where that's coming from. Okay, I'm gonna open up. Let's go green. And plop. And then let's go to the number 3 and enter that over here. So that's gonna be blue for a second. Get rid of that. And here it is. Let's enter the red one. So okay, there's a little bit of a difference between all these buildings now. It's a little interesting to look at. Just a little though. I could go in and extrude every single one of these windows. Boy, does that sound like fun. So I'm going to call this Buildings Set A. And the caps lock was all crazy, but that's alright. Buildings. And let's save that. And, you know, what time is it? We spent 30 minutes just designing these buildings and making sure that the UVs are all proper. Let's duplicate this and bring it that way. Right. Okay, and then let's hit the L key on both of these, grab them, and put them over here on the Y axis. And then we'll be able to grab this whole thing and move it on the X axis. And let's just move these a little bit closer together. The idea is that there's less gaps. Like we can grab this, rotate it 90 degrees on the Z axis, see what that gives to us. A little something to work with. Grab it, move it around some more. Grab this one, move it this way, in that way. Link again, Link Awakening. Grab it that way, push a little, hey, push a little push, give it a little pull, pushing that way, hey. And let's change the color of each one of these buildings. I'm holding Alt and clicking on them, and I'm kind of just actually hoping that they're all colored in correctly. I'll have to check them out in a moment. And make sure that all the colors went through correctly. Yeah, that's alright. Let's make this one actually green. There's some city going on, and it's relatively duplicatable. Really, though, before I join these, like, I guess from this angle it looks okay. Because I want to be able to just duplicate them just as is. And, there's some gaps, but I think that actually will make sense when they're duplicated. And I might be able to literally just put them in an array modifier, and have them kind of stream down. I'll show you here in a second. Let's just Control J. Now it's one piece. And let's Control Shift A, save another file in case I accidentally save this file while I'm doing what I'm about to do, which is throw an array on it. And I can always throw another array on it. And for the second array, I can turn this into 0 and this into 1. And you can kind of get the idea of how easily I can make this look like a gigantic city. Of course, the further out you go, the more uniform they look. So if I wanted to do this much, I think I would want to create a lot more layers to it and add more difference. But for me, right here, right now, I think this looks okay. Because we can even top this out a little bit. So that's where the duplicate is, like that. 1.1. That'll probably be a 1.01 actually. I just don't want those buildings touching. Get away from me. Okay, so that's enough to where if I put this in the scene, it will look like a city background. And I think it's ready to toss in to the final scene. So I'm going to save that again and get ready for the next thing. Yeah, it's still bright, so I'm still wearing the sunglasses. Until next time, I will see you at erpley.com. Cha-ching is the sound of you clicking with a mouse. Nah. Nah, bruh. .com.